Good day, conscious leaders. Today with me, I have got Dr. Nik Eberl from the SA Champions Network, and we are going to talk about the state of unemployment in South Africa and why we should be concerned about that. A warm welcome, Nik. Thank you for joining us in studio.
Thank you, Carmen. It's great to be here.
Fantastic. Now I want to dive straight into this. I noticed a post that you put on LinkedIn, and when I read through all of the statistics that you were sharing, I realized we really need to have a serious conversation about the state of unemployment in South Africa. So I want to start off. Maybe you can tell us first of all, what is some of the work that you are doing on the ground with SA Champions Network, and maybe give us some context before we dive in.
Yeah, of course. Well, you can probably hear from my accent. I was born and bred in Germany, the divided city of Berlin. I came out as a lecturer in 1994, just before the elections. And I'm a brandologist by trade, so I've been studying very effectively. Then I got asked to do the same for South Africa. And if you remember 2010, not only was it a great event, and not only did we collectively earn the highest branding score, that was a 92% NPS from the visitors, but we co-created 500,000 jobs a year, every single year between 2004 and 2010, which is a total of 3 million new jobs. So ever since 2010, I've been looking at ways that how can we recreate this kind of collective leadership and really solve one of the biggest problems in the country, and that is unemployment, especially youth unemployment, where we're now sitting at 60% of youth between 15 and 24 years of age that are not employed. And that's really what the SA Champions Network is looking to solve, where we are bringing leaders and talents, hidden talent together to create pathways to opportunity.
If we look at what's happening right now in South Africa, can you give us some statistics as to where does the unemployment rate sit and why should we be concerned?
Well, across the board, we're sitting at a third of the workforce being unemployed. It's even higher if we look at the job seekers that have given up. And it's affecting disproportionately the youth and women. So unemployment, youth unemployment, women unemployment is even worse, and obviously that feeds into many of our social problems.
What is the conversation that needs to happen? We've got the G20 happening. We have so much disruption happening because of AI. We've got geopolitics. What could this mean for South Africa's future?
There are many initiatives already on the ground, but we really need to do what we did in the run up to 2010. And that is to create a platform for government, business, and labor to work together for one common goal and to create a significant number of jobs. Not just next year, but in the run up to 2035. We have, in my opinion, 10 years to solve this crisis and to create opportunities. So when I say opportunities, it's not just jobs, but it's earning opportunities. There are many earning opportunities for our youth all over the world. So as a digital creator, for example, you can now service clients in New York. You can join a marketing team in Berlin. You can run or look for clients in London. We need to enable our youth to become global entrepreneurs. That's really the opportunity. And to export, in a way, export South African talent to the world and import jobs.
Yeah. So one of the big challenges that we've experienced, especially in this year, is in the front lines of entrepreneurs. They are all absorbing the shock and finding it very difficult. It's almost like there's job freezes. There's not a lot of opportunities even surfacing for entrepreneurs right now. So are you saying that perhaps it is expanding beyond South Africa to enable opportunity?
Exactly. That's where the jobs are. The local job market is shrinking, as we all know. The opportunities are globally. There's no doubt. Now, hosting G20, hosting 75% of global GDP is a unique opportunity to really tap into the potential of the global job market, to build the relationships and build the job pipelines, the opportunity pipelines that we can connect our youth with global opportunities.
And do you perhaps have any ideas of how, so they might be an individual listening to this episode and go, how do I even take my business global? How would I go about that? Do you have any ideas as to how that would work?
Yeah, well, there are many partnerships that are coming off now between business and government. So the best way is really to look for one of these different opportunities to go to approach the chambers of commerce, especially the G20. I think there will be communications coming from the G20 summit in terms of job creation, in terms of opportunity for the youth. There's already a lot of commitment from business leaders and public leaders to create opportunities. So I think we're going to see a lot of action now post the summit.
And in terms of all these big shifts happening in the world and the AI disruption, do you feel that the AI disruption is going to have a more bigger impact on South Africa once that tide hits us?
I think it's really leveling the playing field because, and there are fantastic examples where South Africa is already punching above her weight. For example, the BPO, business process outsourcing industry, now called global business services, where global companies, are outsourcing their call center, for example, to other countries for affordability and for better service. So for a long time, the Philippines and India were the leaders in BPO. South Africa has now become a leader, has created 270,000 new jobs in the last 5 years, and is now really on track to create another 500,000 jobs by 2030 in the global business services sector, where companies are outsourcing not just call centers, but also legal services, IT services, financial services. So it's a really great opportunity for South Africa to compete across the world and create jobs and opportunity.
Nik, where do you think skills are going? What type of skills do you think for the future of work, the youth needs to start developing?
Well, in my view, it's really about building relationships because that's where we're heading. Many of the tasks already can be done, are being done, will be done by AI. But the ultimate skill to me is always about building strategic relationships, building relationships in such a way that people want to do business with you, which means you need to provide. I mean, it's the old adage, right? Providing value, but you have to learn to provide value in such a way that people want to do business with you. And LinkedIn is, for example, a fantastic platform to do that, where many creators are already sharing relevant value, relevant content, building relationships, building their network. As I say, your network is your net worth if you build relationships.
I absolutely love that. One of the things that we're also seeing on the future trajectory is that careers are going to become like portfolios, like a network of a career. So here you're an influencer, there you're a podcaster, here you're a consultant, and here you have a community. And it's like interconnecting this little universes around you as a person. And that is all about relationship and understanding the relationship between all of those, job parts that you would do.
To work with virtual teams, and you got to be able to turn opportunity into solutions.
And being a critical thinker, analytical thinker, but I also think tapping into that originality and creativity. I think this world has become so logic and, it's all about input, output, but that creativity that you need to really lean into, which is something that is so important. But I don't think we lack that here in South Africa. I think that we have so much creativity that happens when we solve African problems. But I also think it's getting a better understanding of our problems and really diving deeper into the problem rather than the innovation itself.
Absolutely. I mean, we work with talent every day. There is an abundance of talent in South Africa, and not just in sport. We see it in sport every single day, but in every single sector. And really, it's our responsibility as leaders to unlock the hidden talent, give them access to opportunity, and that can mean introducing them to the right person, maybe on LinkedIn, giving them opportunity for an internship. That's, for example, a model that's being looked at right now. Germany's internship model, where in Germany, very successfully, the youth, after finishing their education, join a business as an intern for 6 to 12 months. They earn a stipend, they gain experience, and it's something that we have done before. I think in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was a very promising model of job creation in South Africa, and I think it's coming back.
100%. I always try and remain optimistic. I think it's all about leaning into the creator economy and creating opportunities. That's the only way. What I wanted to ask as a final thought, what actions can we take in order to change course?
I think you really need to look at wherever you can connect somebody with opportunity. And I think you need to make this almost a modus operandi, a lifestyle. How can you provide others with opportunity? Whether that's connecting them, whether that is pointing them in the right direction. There is so much we can do for each other, especially in South Africa. And that's really about mentoring, coaching, sponsoring talent, and giving them a hand up for their next step.
Wonderful. Dr. Nik Eberl, thank you so much for joining us today.